Hey friends, welcome back. It's Mary from Harmony's Ice Closet, where my office is perpetually a mess anymore. I bring up the mess because part of the reason that there is a mess is because I bought all this stuff to make all this merchandise and lip gloss and all kinds of things, and some of it was just sitting in like boxes off to the side here, and it was taking up space. So today my plan is to get done some gray sweaters. I have some Crewneck sweaters. I'm going to be sublimating them and then rhinestoning them. They're in high demand from some of the people at the rink. If any of you are watching this, I'm really sorry that it's taken me so long to do this. I will be texting all of you to see what size you want, and you can claim yours out of the batch first before I post them. Anyway, so if you watched my first vendor event video, I will link that in the description if you want to go back and watch it now. But in that video, I was also working on sweaters at the same time. All of my sweaters to date have been white with pink writing or pink with darker pink writing, and they have either pink or white rhinestones on them. And something that I found is that not all of my skater girlies want pink. Some of them want black, or they want gray, or they want, something else like blue or green. I don't know. I don't have like a lot of demand for blue or green, but people seem to want a neutral sweater that wasn't super girly or anything else. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you how I sublimate all of my sweaters from start to finish. And I will link all the stuff that I use in the description for you so that you can go and buy everything if this is something that you want to do as well. Just want to throw in there too, a lot of people are really intimidated by sublimation. They think it's super hard or super expensive. That has not been my experience at all. My experience has been that it is easy to figure out. It's not as intimidating as you think. And I think I bought all the supplies to do sublimation for less than $400. So if it's something that you want to do, $400 is not that hard to make back in just making some projects. For example, the sweaters that I make, I sell the white sweaters for $25 each because white sweaters are only, I think, like $7 on jiffy.com, or sometimes they're discounted as well. I can link those in the description for you. And then the colored ones, those are a little bit more expensive. The gray ones and the pink ones that I bought, I think were somewhere around $10 each. And I charge about $30 for those because when I think about the cost, I buy the sublimation paper. I think it's like $17 for 200 sheets, which is not bad at all because you really only need, I use at max 3 sheets per sweater that I make. And then I buy the Hippo Sublimation Ink, which is, I think I only paid $30 for a set. And I haven't even finished one full set of inks yet. And I bought a second set just because I was worried I would run out. You buy those blanks, like I said. The Epson printer that I use, I think it was like $175, and then I have a heat press from Vivor that I think I spent like $170. So total was not that bad. I will find all of the prices of everything and I will list them in the description for you as well. And I'll post up here. This will be the total cost of how much I paid for everything. All that to say, the very first set of sweaters that I made, I think I made 10 or 15 sweaters and I sold them for $25 a piece. So I essentially made back all the money that I spent almost immediately. And people knew that I was learning how to do it. So they weren't like super hard on me if there were like little imperfections or anything. And I made a lot of Christmas gifts as practice last year too, before I started making the sweaters. But I'm just saying it's a relatively affordable way to start a little business or add to your business like me, like how I make these figure skating dresses. It's just a nice little product that you can add to your line if you want to. Here's a quick tour of everything that I use. I love the Gildan Heavy Blend. I get those from jiffy.com. The Clear E6000. Here's my printed sublimation sheets. The Hippo ink I use. My rhinestones. Sublimation paper that I use. My Cricut cutter, wax pencil, Luer lock, syringe, and blend. this is the Epson EcoTank ET2800. I converted it to be sublimation printing only. So that's how you fill it right there. You use this ink and the syringe that you see, and what you do is you open up, then you just inject it in through here. When you're cutting these, you want to make sure you go around all of the edges so that no stray ink marks are on there. I was going to use my Cricut cutter and I realized that I lost my blade, so I have to order some replacements. So I just cut them with my scissors, and I trim all around because you don't realize it, but sometimes the ink gets on the edges of the pages and you don't want there to accidentally be a black border where it's not supposed to be. So just cutting like this ensures nice, crisp, clean, no stray stains or marks anywhere on there. Funny enough, I realized that I cut that in the shape of a skate. This is my heat tape dispenser. I love this thing. It saved my life. I was using my ruler. I can't remember where I got this sewing ruler. It might have been Jonathan's grandmother's from like the 80s. I have no idea, but I use that to make sure that I am consistent with where I'm placing these pieces there. So I typically go like 3 or 4 or 5 inches down from the center of the neck, and then I just center it. It depends on the size. So for like an extra small and a small, I'll go 3 inches down, and then I go across and find that halfway. So for a medium or a large, I'll do 4 inches, and an extra large and up, I'll do 5 inches. When using the heat tape, make sure that you're putting it only horizontally on 2 pieces there so that when it's hot after you've used the heat press, you don't burn yourself trying to pull it off. I preheat my press to 356 degrees. I have it set to 60 seconds because that's how long I let it sit on the press. I have these Teflon sheets there to keep my items from getting stained. So I put one down first. I put down the actual item that we're going to be sublimating, and then I grab another one that I put over top. This just protects it from any marks that could come from the actual heat press or the pads underneath themselves. So there's just you just want to keep it nice and clean, just like we were before. It would be silly to not protect it when we just put in all that effort to make sure that we were cutting clean edges around it, right? So now we're going to take it off. Usually people will wear like a heat protected glove. I'm not super sensitive to the heat, so I don't mind just grabbing them. I start around the edges and see how nice it comes off with just those 2 horizontal pieces of tape. It's not taking forever to pull off or burning you. Make sure that you let it preheat again. If you see like that last clip, the temperature was at 344 and I wanted it to reheat up to that 356, because if it's not hot enough when you put it on there, the color's not going to come out as brilliant or as dark as you want it to be. And I want them to be as true to color as they can be. Every now and then you'll get a piece that's a little bit lighter. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. And especially when you're first beginning, I'm sure people will understand as well. If you're following along to learn how to do this, I'm just doing a second one. Notice that I'm tucking the tag in so that it is flat, because this press really does press out any wrinkles, and I hate when I press my tag the opposite way and then it just like stands up permanently. I don't want to have a product that the tag is standing up permanently like that. Just doesn't look nice when you hang it on a hanger. So it usually beeps in and lets me know that it's ready. I hit stop, I swing the arm out, I pull it out. You know, like I said, I don't have a heat protecting glove on, but you can do that. It is an optional thing. I'm not super sensitive, like I said. So here, pull it right back, and look how beautiful that came out. That's lovely, isn't it? It's nice and dark and black. The color went really well in there. Because the thing about sublimation is that it's actually sinking the ink into the items. It's not like a Cricut where it's just laying on top of it. Like, it's actually infused into the fabric. It's one of the reasons why I love sublimation. So the heat actually helps to fuse it in there. This is another example of me pressing. I know it's the third example I'm showing, but these are bigger pieces. So I just wanted to show how I do this. I cut those 2 separate pieces and then I line them up and I tape them on so that it covers the whole sweater instead of just that one little piece like it was with the logo before. So as you see what I'm doing, I'm just pulling it. We're gonna pull off that first piece there, and then I pull the clothing off of there. and I flip it around, and then I just do the second half. So that's what I do for these sweaters. Don't mind my little shoulder being in the way there. Sorry, I will get better at these cinematography skills eventually. If you've been paying attention, you notice that there's actually 3 pieces that we're pressing onto this garment. So if you're thinking about how much time it takes to make how much money, for each of those graphics and pressing them, that's 3 minutes on the press. Probably take you 5 minutes to cut them out and place them. 8 minutes there, right? And even rhinestoning them takes less than 5 minutes. You're talking about like 15 minutes to make something that sells for $30. So I think that's a pretty great rate of return, especially considering that the cost of the materials is probably only around $12. Here I've got my syringe with my blunt tip needle top on it. I have linked those in the description for you. I filled it with the E6000 glue. It makes it so much easier to have a precise drop where you want the rhinestone to be when you're using a blunt tip syringe like this. I do know that some of the E6000s come with a blunt tip already on them. However, it's more cost effective for me to buy the big tubes of E6000 and fill these myself. These pencil-like objects that I'm using are actually like wax pencils, and I use those to place my rhinestones. I've seen a lot of other rhinestone tools, but these by far are the best for me. I know when I first learned how to rhinestone, the instructor at the dance studio that showed me how to do this, she was using like a pencil eraser because it was rubbery and it would hold on to the rhinestone for her. But they just adhere to it and they come right off of it once you touch them to the glue. There are actually some rhinestone trays that you can order online. They have lines and ridges in them so that when you shake them, the rhinestones all flip over so that the gem side is up, because that's how you want to pick up the rhinestone with this wax pen. You want to put the wax against the gem so that the flat bottom is what you're pressing down onto the glue dot. I only did a couple rhinestones on the front. I think I did 12 rhinestones around the logo. I thought that that was a much prettier, sleek design than how I had originally scattered them on my pink and white sweatshirts. And then on the back, I kind of just do like 1 on each end of each word, 2 in between, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. I don't want it to be like a disco ball for them. I just like having that little bit of glitter, especially like when the girls are out on the ice and they're practicing and they're wearing my sweaters. It's just kind of neat to see them sparkle a little bit. And I do have to say, it has got to be the coolest feeling ever to look out on a busy freestyle day and see like 8 of my sweaters out there. And it's just funny because I see them all wearing my dresses when they go to competition. Like our favorite competition is Keystones in York, Pennsylvania. And I think this last year I had like 20 dresses go out, which was just like absolutely surreal for me. But it never gets old seeing the girls wearing something that I made, and they love it. And I really do have the best rink family that supports me and teaches me to believe in my dreams, because do you know what? I think that they should all believe in their dreams too. Okay, that's enough. I'm sorry. I always get a little bit sappy on these videos. These girls just mean the world to me, and so do their mamas, and so do the coaches. So here we are. We're wrapping it up. I'm just going to photograph this beautiful little sparkly thing. How about that? How great does that stoning look? I love it. And here's the finished product with my logo on the front and my business slogan on the back. And in just about 15 minutes, I showed you how you can do it too. It's not scary, it's not super expensive, and it could be a great side hustle for you. I believe that you can do it. And if you have any questions or you know anybody who would be interested in doing this, send them my video, comment below, ask away. This is such an easy way that you can add to your business or start a new one entirely. Thanks for coming to watch. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye.